and welcome to episode 8 of Killtocraft Podcast. I am Vanessa, I am your host. Readjusting. You can find me on Ravelry as Killtocraft. You can find me on Instagram as Nessa Townley, and you can find all my show notes on www.killtocraft.wordpress.com. Morning everybody. So how are you all? I hope you are tops. I'm a little bit tired this morning. The mister has just gone to work, and so I have got most of the day to myself. And you're probably wondering why I'm doing a weekday podcast. Well, today I'm doing that because on Saturday I wasn't in the right frame of mind, and I had such a week that kept going it was a bit of a mess. So, and I was a bit of a mess, and I didn't want you to think, oh my god, she's out of sorts today and the podcast isn't up to what it should be, kind of thing. I don't know. I wanted it to have certain standards, I suppose. I was in such a low, negative mood by the end of last week that I tried to do a podcast and I rushed through it. I basically was aiming to do a 20-25 minute show, and I rushed through it. And I didn't want to do that. I thought for you guys I would just wait it out because I booked the week off. So I might have had an horrendous week last week at work, but I knew that I was going to have this week free, so I just decided to wait it out and see how I was feeling later on, which is what I've done. So it's a little bit odd because you're getting to see me on a podcast that should have, I don't know, been a little bit earlier. So I feel like I've got a bit more done, but not, because I've been working on so many things that everything just seems to have been evenly spread out. But yes, if you follow me on Instagram, you will know that last week I had a terrible week, and Monday was one of the worst days that I had. Monday I spent the week basically taking over somebody else's job, but usually that means that when I'm doing that other person's job I don't have to do my job as well, and this week it didn't go like that for me. Last week. So basically I was covering for somebody, and part way through the week I ended up shoved with lots of my own work to do, so I had to kind of juggle time a little bit, and I was like, well, I can do that for his work this morning, but I have to do my own work this afternoon. And I like to be organised. I like to be organised so that I don't get myself stressed. And just because I'm organised doesn't mean that everybody else is, which means I'm relying on people to be as organised as I am, and that's not so possible. But anyway, on Monday I had a bit of I broke on Monday. It's a little bit embarrassing, but I basically had a day where I was trying to get back into the rope of things, because I only do this, my colleague's job, maybe once every 6 months when he's on holiday. After a season's finished, he sometimes goes away, and that means that because stuff is needed for deadlines, for being printed, I have to take over that role to get stuff ready for printing. So I was kind of getting back into the swing of things and the ropes, basically, and doing that meant that I was taking the long route for everything, the long way round, and then ended up finding the easier way of doing it, because I remember after about an hour or so of working on this, and have to go back and redo it the better way, because it needs to be done in a certain manner. So I was chewing and throwing a lot on Monday, and I wasn't in the best of moods. And then I got I got shouted at by a member of staff, because I got told basically by my colleague where the work should be, and it wasn't there. So I went to another colleague to say that basically I needed to know where this work was, because it should be in this file for me. And another colleague piped in and decided to have a very sharp rant at me. And it wasn't nice, it was nasty, and it left me, you can probably see that I'm a bit stressed about it now, thinking about it, but it left me feeling really upset, and for the rest of the afternoon it weighed on my mind, and by the end of the afternoon I ended up crying, because it sits with me, does anything like that, because I haven't done anything to instigate it, I've done nothing wrong, and so it really upset me. But then, that's not it. That's not all. So after having a bit of a struggle day and then that happening, I went home tired, upset and annoyed, and I really just wanted to sit with my knitting, my coffee, like I do normally on a normal standard day, and I just wanted it to be where it usually is. I'm sure that everybody has like a certain routine that they probably feel like, they just wash the day away. And I didn't have that, because when I got home I decided to get my sock blanket out. I put on a coffee with the kettle and just made a quick brew, and I sat down ready to enjoy my evening of relaxing and de-stressing. And then I caught my coffee mug and sweeped it straight over my desk, over my keyboard, over the floor, over me, over my knitting. Literally, this mug, believe it or not, holds a lot of coffee, and basically just went everywhere, and I was drenched, and my computer keyboard was drenched. I had to unplug it, and I had to pop it on the heater for the evening with my knitting and my knitting bags, which some of them gained a little bit of coffee, so I had to wash them down with a bit of water and soap and let them dry. And I also had to wash some of the squares of my sock blanket. That's right. It was on the needles, and I was doing the square, so obviously I had to wash it with the needles on, and some of the lighter squares had gained some coffee marks, and I knew that they would stain and it would upset me. So I decided to just give them a little bit of a wash in the sink. Now, because I washed them and I folded it up and I popped it on the dryer so that they'd get the best drying time, it stretched out some of my squares. I really wasn't happy about it, but I think when picking up along the squares, because they have the same amount of spaces, it's kind of brought them in slightly back to their size, doing the row above. So I think you can notice it, but it's not the worst thing that could have happened, so I'm gonna let it pass. But yeah, and then And then some of the days that week carried on similar. And so I was kind of, even though they turned out like bad days, I kind of knew that I was having this week off, and I was excited to just get away. Basically, that's all I could think about, was escaping that week. So, sorry, I'm readjusting again. Episode of readjustment. So, but yeah, you can tell that I'm a little bit brighter, I think, this week. So, I'm glad I waited. Anyway, that's enough blabbering. So today, for you, I have a finished object. Gotta take a sip of my tea. Today I am drinking green tea, but it's PG Tips green tea and it's mint. And oh my god, it's gorgeous. It's not like, I think it's more spearmint than peppermint, but I love it. And it's really strong flavoured, and I bought one that I thought would be similar by Twinings, called Moroccan Mint. And the mint isn't as strong. I was really disappointed, so I ended up going back to the supermarket and getting some more of these, because they're only little triangles, little silky triangles in a box. I think you get 20, and I think they were only £1 as well, and it just tastes so nice. So this is my, at the minute, this is my in-between coffee or tea drinks, so that I just drink as many of these as I want, really. More the merrier. And this mug is my new mug that I bought from IKEA, which I absolutely love. So, today I have got for you a finished object. I have got quite a few works in progress, and I've even got a little bit of cross stitching. Something new. So I think I'll show you my my sock blanket, because I have done a few squares on this, and you'll see what I mean about the slightly bigger squares. So I'll show you this. Now, I've been working on a few squares from Andy of the Andre Sue Knits podcast, and that's this row here. I love this. I think it's gorgeous. So it's getting quite big now. I love actually seeing other people's sock blankets, and their squares seem to be a lot smaller than mine. I think I've gone for an ample sized blanket square, because mine's a 10 by 10. I think a lot of people have gone by an 8 by 8. But I love this row. I think it's gorgeous, and I'm not sure if you can tell, but these two squares that Laura sent me from the Fawn Knits podcast are the now slightly bigger squares. I don't think you can tell as much with the Koigu. I think that's kind of gone back quite well, but the Rain City Knits seems to have really stretched, which is a shame. But it looks okay, and I think once I get a square in on this side as well, it will probably pull it back up into shape a little bit better. So, and I am currently really bad. I always make sure that I tend to have a finished square, so I don't have needles flopping everywhere. But I'm working on some unknown sock yarn, or 4-ply weight yarn that Mina sent me in the swap that we did. Thank you, Mina. I love the orange, especially with the blue. So, complementary colours. Which is why I've also put the purple next to the yellow, because they complement each other. And this blue with this orange. So I do like complementary colours. I think that they pop and they stand out and they work really nice together. But I absolutely love my blanket, and it's getting bigger, and yes, it's lovely. So that's that project. And then I forgot to do my thank yous. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. in between the works in progress, I would like to thank you all for coming back. And if you are a new viewer, hello! Thank you for watching. I really appreciate you being here, and I have gone off on a tangent today and completely forgotten to thank you all like I usually do. What a mess. I also want to thank you, little bobbins, Danny. She mentioned the podcast on a latest episode, and if you hadn't realised she'd got a new episode out, she has, and we have very much we've just missed her. I know I have, and I think a lot of other podcasters that I chat to have also missed Danny as well, so I'm assuming that a lot of people out there have also missed Danny. She's been very busy making her home basically, and decorating, and she's had a very stressful time, so my heart goes out to you, and I'm glad to see that you're okay and you're doing now relatively well, and I can't wait to see more of you, Danny. But thank you for mentioning the podcast, and also thank you for joining in the Brioche KAL. So excited. Your shawl, because she posted a picture of her shawl on the Brioche KAL forum post, but seeing it on her podcast, it's actually gotten bigger and it's gorgeous, so keep it going, it looks smashing. Anyway, so thank you all, and I am very sorry that I'm quite forgetful. I've even got show notes, and it says after introducing what I've got for today, it says thank yous, and I've just brushed past it like a fool. With the thank yous, I'd like to also remind you of some group news. The Brioche Knit Along is still going until the end of October, and we also have a prize for that, which was lovely and kindly donated by Mina of the Knitting Expat podcast and Mina Makes Etsy shop, and she's donated one of her fruit salad bags. I think it's a sock-sized small bag, but it's gorgeous and so nicely wrapped, so I've kept it that way. If any of you are interested in donating to the shop, oh god, my mind is everywhere this morning. Any of you are interested in donating to the podcast, my cat is now deciding to interrupt things. I apologise. Yeah. So if any of you Etsy sellers or yarn dyers or makers would like to donate to the prizes for any of my knit-alongs, please do get in touch via Ravelry. As I say, I am Killtocraft, and we also now have a new knit-along going on there, which is just a free-for-all fun. Anybody can join kind of knit-along. It's basically for Christmas knits. Now, as Christmas comes along, I want to knit things for family, because they have basically asked me to knit things this year, and I wanted to say yes. I don't want to let them down, so I now have an extensive list of Christmas gifts, and I don't want to not be able to join in on a knit-along for that long. And I think it's nice to share as well what we're all making for Christmas. So, if you are making, and you are making a lot of gifts for people, come over to the Killtocraft podcast group and join in the fun, and make a list of all the things that you're going to be making for Christmas or intend to make, and share and post pictures of your projects, and that'll continue up until Christmas. It's to keep us all motivated, see how we're all going, and keep up the good Christmas work. Basically, I think I think if I didn't have something pushing me along, I wouldn't do it. I think the projects would just drop straight back off the needles. Although I've got you guys as well, which I think if I started a lot of knitting projects for Christmas and you didn't see them, I think you'd all be like, where's that project gone and why is she not knitting on that? So I think I'd feel like I'd have to anyway, but I thought it'd be nice for everybody to have a space to share what they are working on. So even if they can't join in any other knit-alongs, they have a Christmas knit-along that they can share. I want to see all your projects. I've got another few minutes before my camera cuts out, so I will chatter about my brioche shawl because I haven't worked on this a massive amount. I've been starting some other projects, but I will show you this. I'm keeping this in my gorgeous Mina Makes bag, which I showed on the last podcast, which I absolutely love. Love this handle as well. I was actually swinging this about in the living room the other day going, ooh, look at me, because I feel like a cool kid. I love this bag, it's gorgeous. And if you go over to the Mina Makes Etsy shop, you'll find some of her gorgeous bags on sale. This is stunning, and it's so well made. The fabric is gorgeous, it's sturdy, it's gorgeous, and it stands really well. And hello. So yeah, you should totally check out her knitting project bags. I haven't done a massive amount. In fact, I'm really lazy and I've stopped halfway through a row. Which is terrible of me. I think that was when I was helping a friend master the brioche in the week, and I think that's why I just left it there. But yeah, so I haven't done a massive amount since the last time. I've got a marker here, so as you can see I haven't done a lot at all really. This marker is one of the progress keepers that I got from a homespun house. If you haven't ever been to the shop, Molly from a Homespun House podcast has a shop on her website, and it mainly sells project bags and stitch markers and little notions. And I bought some of the progress keepers, so you can attach them into your knitting. I think these are just amazing. I think they're gorgeous. And she's recently started selling yarn as well, and her yarn dyeing is going amazingly well. And she's so tempted me, but I can't spend anything. I'm going to Yarndale this weekend and I really can't spend anything. I've treated myself to a couple of little things this month. I say little things, I've even bought myself a new winter coat, which I needed, and so I really can't afford to throw any more money away on knitting bits, because I'm going to a knitting fair, so I'm holding back. But next month, if she's still got some yarn going with her dyeing, I'm totally going to treat myself. She's got a Halloween colourway called This Is Halloween, which is also a part of a song from Nightmare Before Christmas, which I love. I love that film. And it's like a gorgeous bluey, purpley colour. Oh, it's just astounding. It's so pretty, and I want it in my life. And I'm not sure I'm going to be able to get any, so it's really upsetting me. I feel like I really want that yarn as a pair of socks. But we'll see, I might be able to grab a skein yet. And there's also a colourway called Blush, which is absolutely gorgeous. It's like a pink, a vintagey looking pink, and it's so pretty. So if you haven't been over there, keep your eye out. yeah, if you haven't been to Molly's shop, please go over there and have a look, because she does sell some gorgeous things. The next thing I have to show you, because I haven't really worked much on my Brioche shawl, and I think the only bit that I did do was in the week when I was helping Lara from the Fawn Knits get the hang of the pattern of the brioche, and to describe to her how it works, because it is quite complicated, but once you get it in your head how it works, it's not as difficult. But I think it needs to be put across in a certain way to understand it. So I did a little bit on my shawl to help Lara, and I think that's all I did on it. She's really bad. I should really do some more on it this week. And then my other project is my cry socks, which I did quite a bit on, because I had a few days where I weren't doing very well. I did quite a bit on these, and I've nearly got one whole sock. I've got the toe to do, but I've left that so that I could do the heel and the foot on the other one, because I like to do them roughly at the same time. I had a bit of an issue with these, actually, because when I last showed you them, I'd done the cuff and I was probably getting on to doing the leg, and I noticed that the difference between the rib and the leg was massive, and it bunched out a lot here, and I cast it on using the Full and Vine Favourite Socks pattern. Now, usually when you have a rib, you decrease down for your stocking stitch, because that spreads out more than your rib does, but the pattern didn't. So, and when I tried them on, the leg was very saggy to my leg. It had a good centimetre or two maybe, of excess leg room that my ankle didn't fill. So this was fine. This was okay, and that's 64 stitches. And I decided to decrease 2 stitches at each side and take it down to from 64 to 60. And now it fits perfectly. And I've mastered and done the Fish Lips Kiss heel, which is amazing. And as you can see, I've used a contrast colour for my heel, and it fits perfect. If anybody hasn't tried it, I'd say go now, go try it. I bought the pattern, and I think with it having, I'm working top down, and so I don't need a lot of the instructions that she gives in the pattern. I think the pattern cost me about 80 pence on Ravelry, and it's not expensive, but I don't need half of the instruction. I just need to do the heel, basically. I don't need to know where the placement is or anything if I'm working top down. If you're working toe up, you need to know the placement of where you start your heel, because obviously you've got a good few inches before you start it to stop. So you need to know where you stop your foot to start it. But the short rows work lovely, and it's very neat, and I'm very happy with it as a pattern, and I'm definitely going to do it again. So I've got my toe to do on this one. I can't wait to have these finished, because they just look amazing on, and I've tried them on quite a few times now. And I've just finished the heel on the other one, so I'm onto the leg, the foot, sorry. And yeah, I'm really happy with them, and I've stopped them at the same points, and I started them with at the same point for the colour at the top, so it's got a grey ridge where you cast on, and I knit the full section of grey just to see how many rows there was, so I could split it evenly, which I did. So there's 2 rows of grey at each side of the heel, and same on this one, so 2 rows there, and there's also 2 rows there before I start my red. So that's worked out so amazingly well, and I've stopped it, I think 3 rows in on the yellow, so I just need to do the same at the opposite side on the other foot for the other sock. But I absolutely love that, and I think now that might work as my favourite sock, plain vanilla sock. So I think I now know my amount of stitches that I will be using in future socks. Don't really use 2x2 often on the top of socks. I like a 1x1 rib, but the 2x2 looks really nice, so I might actually stick with it as a change, you know. Mix it up a little bit. I feel really low down now. I think I've angled the camera differently. Oh well, you can see my head really well, so it's fine. I like to throw you off a little bit. And the heel, I'm gonna show you another one of my hoarding stash enhancements. But the heel was West Yorkshire Spinners, signature 4-ply, and it's a 75% wool and 25% nylon, and it's in Penny Royal colourway. There's some numbers on the back, and I'm not sure which one is actually the colourway because there's quite a few of them, and nothing states whether it's a shade number or not. So, but I know online it's Penny Royal, so you might be able to find out the number from the from online, from a website. But this is actually really soft. I don't know what wool they use in their sock yarn, but it's a lot softer than a lot of company branded sock yarn. It's really nice. So I will be using their sock yarn again. I'm very impressed. And when knitting it, as you could see, it's very even and it just feels really nice. So I think I will use that again. And hopefully it's hard wearing. I know a lot of a lot of podcasters have used West Yorkshire Spinners and highly rate it, and I can very much understand why, because it knits up lovely, in fact, and the Croy sock yarn as well knits up really lovely, and it feels thick, quite thick 4-ply, very sturdy, so hopefully they'll work together really well. Trying to think what else I have to show you. Ah, of course. I'm knitting one of my Christmas gifts as well. I nearly forgot about this. That's really bad, because I've been working a little bit on this over the past couple of days to get it started really. And I decided to go with, my mum wanted a waistcoat, and I know her style, and she's a lot shorter than me, so I didn't want anything that would be too long. So I had a look at some standard companies and what patterns they had, and I know that my mum, she's got a bit of traditional taste, but she's quite girly. She likes a little bit of lace and things like that, so I've gone for Beachcomber DK, which is a Serdar yarn. I've gone for leaflet 7285, and I'm knitting her this blue number at the bottom. You can see that, and it's got some lace patterning on the bottom half, and it's quite plain at the top half, and I think this will be really nice, and the neckline's quite nice as well with the button, and I think it gives a lot of leeway with it being one that just hangs open, so that it gives a lot of give, I suppose, to a figure, if you know what I mean. Like, I've got quite big hips, so it'd probably hang quite nicely over the hips and not look funny, whereas a tight waistcoat that's buttoned would sit tightly around my waist and hips, and I think that this one will look lovely on her. So I started it, and she wanted it more as a winter waistcoat, which this is a cotton yarn. So I've done it in the Country Style DK, which is in a silver grey, and that's like acrylic, wool and nylon, I think. So I got this started. It will need pinning out, you can tell it'll need blocking, but it looks lovely so far. There you go. And I started this the other day, and I've got another one of these lace repeats to do above here, and then it's stocking stitch the rest of the way, so, which isn't too bad really. You see the pattern? I think it looks nice, and I think she's going to really love it. So I can't wait to have that done and dusted. I started on the back because obviously the back is the bigger piece, and then I will do the two smaller pieces, which will be the fronts, because I could then carry them with me to work, which isn't too bad, and then I can get some done in my lunch breaks and things like that. So that's my Christmas knitting project, which I haven't shared yet on the Christmas Knitting KAL group, but I will be doing. I think once I finish the third pattern, I'll probably take a picture and pop it up there. So then I've got another project which I started last night. Just grab my bits and pieces. I decided that I volunteer for the Pom Pom Quarterly Forum. I don't know if I've mentioned that before. So I help moderate their forums, and if anybody needs any help, then I try and help them the best I can with pattern queries and things like that. And basically I'm there to help inspire and knit along in the knit-alongs. So, my project, I decided I would cast on, because I've already done the oak crest hat, which was the grey hat with the speckles of colours. I think I showed it last time. I decided that I would really like a Hitchcock sweater, which is done by Tin Can Knits, and this is their Pom Pom Quarterly issue 14, autumn 2015, so it's the latest issue, and I really like this. And I had some yarn in my stash that I thought would be perfect for this, and I really love the girls. I support them 100% because I think they do such a lovely job with their magazine, and I really love their patterns. There's nothing else to say. I love the patterns that they choose for their issues. I think they're great. So I decided to cast on the Hitchcock, and then I got a little bit put off because my mister said that if I had a whole sweater in this yarn, that I'd look like Robocop, which I have to say, it is a metallic yarn, so I could possibly look a little bit like Robocop, but I was going for a Christmas feel because winter is coming, and I decided to use this. And yes, it is rather metallic. I don't know if you're seeing that properly. Yeah, it is rather metallic. I give it that. And this is the Rico Fashion metalized iron. I got this earlier on in the year, and I got about eight balls like this, and I think I got them in a bag for £10 from my local yarn shop. They were having a bit of a sale and a clear out, and I thought, oh, £10? Bargain. And thought it would be perfect for a winter sweater. It would be, right? And who doesn't love glitz? at Christmas. So I bought it, and it looks quite glitzy. I'm sorry, you can hear somebody reversing. If you can hear that, that's actually a fire engine reversing. Can't see anything going on, but very sorry. Anyway, how distracting. So I decided to cast it on. And you start with the sleeves, and then you do the body, and then you join them up for the raglan and go into the neck. And I don't know, my mister said that it would look Robocop-ish. What do you think? Because I'm going to go with it anyway. I asked Lara last night of the Fawn Knits podcast, because we chatter a lot, and she said that she loved it. And I was like, oh, so do I. I feel like I'm not the only one that loves this, and maybe it's just a man comment that he's thrown out at me, and it's kind of deterred me a little bit. So I think I'm just going to go with it anyway. And if he thinks I look like Robocop, then fine. But I love it, so I think that it's going to be really jazzy for a Christmas sweater. And with the pattern, who wouldn't think that that would look great in this? Because it's a simple pattern. The yarn doesn't distract away from the yarn at all, and I think that it's going to look cozy, comfortable, and Christmassy. And I think it will be one of my most used Christmas sweaters. Sorry, I've just jingled the camera. So I started that last night, and I haven't done much on it because I was also doing something else. I was doing so much stuff last night. I was preparing for the podcast, I was chattering to friends, I'd been watching a few podcasts, and I'd been doing some stitching, and I literally was all over the place, and I was checking up. I've got a little floor plan of Yarndale and what I'm going to see while I'm there, and I was marking up the stands that I want to definitely have a look at. I was preparing myself, so I did a lot of stuff last night. So I've got that on the needles, so I've decided to begin that because that was in my plan, my knitting plan, and I've been wanting to cast it on for like a good month and not had the time. So yeah, it's kind of like a Christmas present to myself to make sure I have at least one sweater that's for me on the needles. My next work in progress, I've got so many this week. I feel like I cast one off and I gain like another 5. I feel like I have angled this camera funny. I'm going to re-angle it a little bit. There we go, that's a bit better. So the next project that I have is actually, I think I said earlier, is a cross stitch. Something different for you all. And this is from cloudfactory.net. Just Cloud Factory. And they do a lot of stitching patterns that are like little pixelated people and things. They're really cute and they're really fun, and a lot of them are things like the Gremlins or the Goonies, or like the one that I've printed is the Ramones. And this is for my mister for Christmas. I pointed out that they did the Ramones and they did Sex Pistols, and they did another one that I really want to make for him, which is horror movie characters, but I don't think I'll be able to make that for him for now. That might have to be for maybe a birthday present later on next year. And I haven't got much done. I've started on the pattern, but I've only got some of the M done and this guy's jacket. So I haven't got very much done, you can tell. But yeah, I'm getting there. And last night I'd actually stitched some of it wrong and I had to unpick it and restitch it, which was a bit annoying. I'd spaced it wrong. I hadn't realised that was a 1-stitch gap and that was meant to be the 3-stitch gap, and I did this one as the 3-stitch. so I messed it up. So I had to go back and unpick all of my stitching and go back and do it. But yeah, so I started that, and that's for his Christmas present, which is really exciting because I haven't done a cross stitch in ages, and I really like it, and it's quite portable as well for me for work. So I have no problem in being able to take that with me. I like projects I can take to work. At one bit, about a year ago, we used to actually have a full hour lunch break, but now we get to leave a little bit earlier on Fridays, and we give up 15 minutes of our lunch every day for that, so we get to leave a little bit earlier on the Friday, which I do not mind at all. I love leaving a little bit earlier, where it means that our hours of working hours are a little bit longer on a Friday, rather than having like an hour and a half before a break. We have 2 hours. It's like, it can be a bit full on, but I don't mind. Again, because we get to leave early, we get to leave at 3:30, so I get an extra like hour or so at home. So that's it for works in progress. I'm just thinking I'll show you my finished object quickly before my camera goes out again. So I finished my Canopy Shawl. Yes, it's rather large. I actually can't show you it all as one, I don't think. It's rather big, it's stunning, and I'm very much in love with it and how massive it is. You see, it is big. I haven't been able to pin it out because I pin my garments out at work, and I didn't have enough yarn to do the picot edging. As a lot of you know, I was playing yarn chicken for that picot edging, and I think I managed to get to about here. So I'd done all of the picot edging up to here, which isn't at the centre point at all, and realised that actually I didn't have enough yarn left. I had 7 grams left. When I pulled it out, I realised I had 19 grams in total, so I hadn't even got halfway, and I was well over halfway of the amount that I had left, so I decided to do something else. And so I just did a little guard stitch eyelet edging, just to finish that edge off, to neaten it, and I think it works out quite nicely. It's nothing over the top, but it does give it that little edge. It's better than not having an edge at all and just casting off straight away. So it's just a little bit of something, but it looks gorgeous on. And some of you may have seen my photograph on Instagram of me wearing it. But yeah, it's a nice size and it's cozy and I love it. So I'll be wearing this loads over the winter now, and I'm looking forward to getting it pinned out. And I had enough with the beads in the end, and it hasn't weighed it down too much or anything. So I'm really impressed that I've got a bigger shawl. I think that I loved it, but I'm glad that I made it bigger, no matter whether I had to fudge the last bit because of yarn chicken. I still think I made the right choice because I wanted a good decent shawl. The first shawl I ever knitted, and I think it was the last shawl I ever knitted, was an Ishbel, and that was years ago, and it was tiny. It was more like a neckerchief, and I didn't really like the style of that. I like big chunky scarves, so why not do a bigger size shawl? So that's what I did, and I'm in love with it, and it's gorgeous. I'm glad that I made the Canopy Shawl, and if you haven't made this, I think you should, because it's lovely and it's a great knit as well. I really enjoyed knitting this project. Didn't get bored with it really at all, but I did have a little bit of a break when I was contemplating what to do about the beads and the size. other than that, it's an amazing shawl. Now that I've shown you the Canopy Shawl, I will show you what as well as the, let me just grab them because I feel like I'm juggling a bit. As well as the West Yorkshire spinners that I needed for my crow socks, which I decided on a contrast heel, and as well as the gorgeous progress keepers from all over Homespun House, the pretzel and the teacup and the donut. I then also just purchased myself another treat, which I've had kind of on hold for me for a good few weeks till I could afford to purchase it. And Andy, hello Andy, she kindly saved me when I asked her if it would be possible to reserve it, because I fell in love with this yarn as soon as I saw the colours. It says me all over it. So this is Pink Tiaras. It's Andre Sue knits. I'll just zoom in a little bit. Andre Sue knits, and it's Pink Tiaras, and it's on a bliss fingering base. Isn't it gorgeous? And I just love like corals and pinks and blues, purples. I love this area here that's like a pink and purpley colour. It's just stunning. I fell in love with it. I have no idea what this is going to be, Andy. I think some socks possibly will occur from this yarn, and I just love the colours. As soon as I saw it, I knew I had to ask for it to be saved aside, because if I saw that it had gone, I think I'd been majorly disappointed. And I don't often, on odd occasions with yarn, I feel this way, and this is one of those occasions where I couldn't resist it. I think it throws it out a little bit. It's a little bit brighter. I might have to take a picture and show you it, but it's so gorgeous, and I just love it. So I think some socks will definitely be made from this. Thank you so much, Andy, for saving it aside for me. I just love it so much. And she kindly popped in some little treats as well. So I got some little notelets, which I use, little sticky notelets, and a little progress keeper that's some acorns, which is very autumn. And I like that. I think that's really cute. So that might go on one of my bags. I absolutely love this. And she also sent me a little, oh man, I've not got everything out. She also, the daughter picked out this little funky pen for me as well. It's got a little funny face on. I absolutely love this. I think it was Rachel that picked it out. Thank you, Rachel, because I I love this. I think it's so cute. It makes me smile. So this might have to go. This might have to go to work with me, and I might have to use this if I'm having one of those, days where I need something silly to cheer me up. So I will be taking that with me. And she also sent me this gorgeous little mini skein, which I'm going to pop in my blanket. Look at that, it's beautiful. I think I might have to zoom in to get the colour. Look how lovely that is. And Andy's yarns are so soft and so beautiful to work with. And they're just lovely. This feels really squishy as well. I don't know why, it just feels more squishy. I want it so bad, so I'm going to put this in my blanket. Oh, Andy, actually, before I continue on another tangent, what colourway is this purple that you sent me? Because this is stunning, and I fell in love with this. When I was knitting it, I'm a bit disappointed I don't have any more. because it's got like little hints of blues and pinks and purples in there, and it's just, look at the colour, it's gorgeous. I don't even know how to describe this purple, but it is unbelievably nice. It's just gorgeous. It's definitely one of my favourite purples I have ever seen. Like, I'm big on purple, but some purples aren't purples I'd wear. I don't know how to describe it. Like, some purples just remind me of like Halloween, fancy dress, like the striped socks and things like that, and I wouldn't wear that kind of purple. Purples like this I would, and I suppose you could class that as purple. I'd wear that. That is a purple. It's like purpley pink, but I'd definitely wear that. But this is gorgeous. I would 100% wear that. It's beautiful. So yeah, anyway, that's me gushing and saying lovely things about Andy's yarn and colourways. If you haven't checked out Andre Sunik's Etsy shop, you should also do that as well, because she does some amazingly coloured yarns, and they're usually one of a kind, and it's just, they're great. I keep looking at this and I keep seeing new variants of colour, like they blend into one another so well that you get so many colours in one skein, really, to be honest. Like, you get the lights and the darker shades of all the colours, and it's just so nice. Like, I love colour in general. I can't pick a favourite colour because I love colour so much, and so when I see a yarn like this dyed really well, it makes me a bit speechless because it's so pretty. But yeah, so I think these will become some sort of sock, but we'll see, and I'll definitely aim to save a little bit for my blanket. So thank you very much for saving that for me, Andy. I love it a lot. I think you can probably tell that I do. So those are some of the treats that I got this week. Ooh. There's another treat that I bought as well. I bought myself a new book. I don't know if some of you probably will watch All You Knit Is Love, which is by Leah. She's lovely, and she started doing a podcast about books, which, yay. I've watched a few book haul podcasts, and they just some of them seem over the top, like they are very much just trying to sell you books for a company, and it's a little bit disappointing. I don't like that. I actually like people that are passionate about books because they read books, and Leah is definitely like that. She reads a lot of books, and I chat to Leah on odd occasions as well, and I know she's very passionate about her reading as well as her knitting. And so when she put up the video this week, I was very excited. I had to immediately go and watch. It's only a short video, so if you haven't seen it, go over to the All You Knit Is Love channel, and it's on there as a separate video. I think it's about 13 minutes. And one of the books she mentioned that she bought was Station 11. And she mentioned it's a dystopian novel. And I've just read the Handmaiden's Tale, and I got really into the idea behind dystopian books. And so I really wanted it. And then I popped over to a second-hand bookstore in town, and it was just there. It was actually just sat there for £2 waiting for me to grab it. So I couldn't help myself. and I love the little deer on the front. So this is my book that I am going to pick up when, I'm not saying next, but when I get to finish the Moomin books. Now, a lot of you have probably noticed that I have been reading a lot of Moomin books recently. I'm on this one at the minute. Moomin Summer Madness. A lady at my work had these books when she was little, and she's very kindly digging them out for me, and she's only got another one that I think there's maybe 5 in total. I think she's got 4, 5 or 6. I think she's got 4 anyway, and this is the 3rd one that I borrowed from her, and she's got another one for me when I've read this. So I don't start any other books because I'm a monogamous reader. I read a book at a time. I can't read more than one. I get a bit skewy with which book's which. I can't do the I'll read a bit of this and I'll read a bit of that. No, don't work with me. So I'm trying to finish the Moomin books before I start reading some novels. But I've got this, and I've got a book called The Little Stranger. I think it's Sarah Walters or something. That was borrowed from my mister's sister, so I want to get reading on that as well. So this is going to be in the pipeline for one of my next books. So that was a good little treat because it wasn't too expensive. Trying to think what I'm doing now. So what I'm doing over the course of the rest of the week, I am today just maybe relaxing and just doing a bit of knitting and things, and then this afternoon when my mister finishes work at about 4 o'clock, we are going to Leeds, which is a city nearby, and we are going to we are going to Leeds to see a band play at the O2 Arena. The O2 Academy, sorry, not Arena, Academy. And we are going to see the English Beat, which is the Beat ska band from way back when. And we're going to see them play. He won a ticket online, and so he bought me a ticket, and we're going to go and see those. So that's going to be really good. Beforehand, I'm taking us out for a bite to eat, so like maybe a burger or a bit of brisket somewhere or something. Really looking forward to that. Friday, I think tomorrow I've got most of the day to myself because my mister is going to be going down south again to visit friends and family. A friend is coming back from Australia to stay, so he's going to welcome him home, and it's his best friend, so one of his best friends. So he'll be enjoying time down there for the weekend, and hopefully not getting into any trouble or like last time where he broke his hand, because I'm a little bit nervous about it. I don't want to be thinking about him all weekend, but he's promised me nothing bad will happen, so crossing my fingers. Then Saturday I have Yarndale, and I'm going to be spending money on wool. I'm so excited about that, and I'll be also meeting the girls from Pom Pom Quarterly for the first time, and there's quite a few shops as well that I really want to see, like Spin City, there's Ginger Twist Studios, there's so many, I'm finding it hard to remember. John Arben Textiles, because I've never seen his yarn. There's just so many of them, and I can't wait to go over there and go and shop and spend time with people that I chat to on a regular basis online. It's going to be amazing to speak to them face to face. So yeah, and then Sunday, another day to myself, chilling and relaxing, and then Monday I'll be back at work, which is bit rubbish to think about, really. God, have I only got 4 days left? How depressing. That time seems to have gone so quick. Because I booked the week off, that meant like 9 days away. I've already used 5 of them. What have I been doing? Oh, I have been knitting. Of course, what have I been doing? I've been spending most of my days just sat at home, so chilling out and relaxing, watching podcasts, drinking tea, knitting away. It's been lovely. Very relaxed. So I'm going to put my show notes away because that's me done, I think, for today. I hope you enjoy the episode, and it has been lovely to see you all again and catch up with you all. It would be great to see more of you joining in on the Killtocraft Podcast Forum and joining in the 2 knit-alongs that I now have going. If you finish any small brioche projects and add them to the finished objects thread, you'll be in to win the gorgeous Mina Makes fruit salad bag, and that will be drawn on the 31st of October, which is Halloween. And we also already have some FOs in there, so that's quite exciting. But I would like to see more, so hopefully there will be quite a few more by the end of October, but if not, I might extend the date slightly. We'll see how it pans out nearer the time. If I think that we need a bit more activity, then I might progress and take it a little bit further. But yeah, if you haven't tried brioche, do, because it's not always as difficult as you think. Like, I picked it up quite well. I think it's finding the right video and the right person to show you how to do it. I think that's the thing with brioche. But yeah, go over and share your projects either in the brioche thread or the Christmas knits thread. And if you have a works of progress that is only part done, that's brioche, that's like, you know, in its early stages, join that in. I really don't mind. The KAL has been open since beginning of September, so if it's part done and you're in the beginning stages of your project, just throw it in there. I really don't mind. I don't think the people mind, as long as you're sharing it in a group. We would love to have you join in. I think that's it for today. Thank you for coming back. I absolutely love you all. It's great to chatter with you as usual on Instagram and on the groups. Yeah, you are amazing. You're such good friends. Can't wait to keep socialising with you all. So please do say hello, and I will see you soon. I might do a tiny podcast at the weekend to show the things that I bought from Yarndale, but we'll see, because I won't really have any works in progress to show you or anything. So we'll see about that. You might end up with a small podcast the weekend after or something. I try not to leave it as long this next time. So I hope you all have a lovely weekend, and if you are doing something fun like I am, make the most of it, and I hope the weather stays nice for you all, and I hope you have a relaxing and lovely day. See you soon. Bye.